Are there children in here? Please tell me no. Are there any children that are awake in here? No? Seriously, I don't want to swear in front of small children. I'm not joking you for 1 second. I write books for children. I have to make sure I don't swear in front of children. You're not a child, darling. How old are you? 12. Are you really? Oh, fuck it. You know it's late when all I have to do is say fuck it and people clap. That's when you know it's the end of civilization. And we should all just sort of, you know, tuck our heads and pray for whatever. Hi, darling.
Hey.
By the way, can we just for one tiny second give this man... I mean, he is, seriously.
Yeah, this one needs to go down.
It is very rare in my life.
Here we go.
Very rare in my life that I will ever do anything where I just go, okay, I'll go, and let somebody else take care of everything, which is what he has done.
Although it didn't go completely. There was some serious bumps in the road. We were supposed to be done at 7, but we raised a hell of a lot of money.
Exactly, that's the point. And by the way, I think you should also give it up for the staff, all the security people, all of his team. No, it's my first and only, and so I'm kind of seeing how it all works, really one time only, and it's impressive. If I was going to do it again, I would immediately go, yeah, let's do this again. I'm not going to do this again, but I'm just saying, if I was to do it again, I would say, wow, this is really great, let's do it again. But I'm not going to do it again. All right, I mean, seriously. I'm not, though. You're gorgeous.
Okay, enough.
It's all good.
Enough making Dick's head.
All right, what do you want to know? Let's go.
So we're going to run through, we got some
Anything
questions
you want.
here. Frank.
Where's Frank?
I don't know where Frank is.
Raise your hand,
Frank
darling.
Acevedo?
Oh, is this how this works? You guys write them and then you ask?
That way I can control it, and all the bad questions can get thrown out.
Got it, got it.
What was it like to work with Donald Pleasance? We've heard that 1,000 times. So anyway, what was your family's reaction when you first told them you were going to star in Halloween?
My family, you mean my parents?
Yes.
You know what, honestly, I had virtually no relationship with my parents. I mean, my mother and I were close. But I think she was happy. I mean, you know what? Honestly, at the time, it was a little tiny, low-budget horror movie. No one made a big deal about it. It was a little, tiny, tiny, tiny movie. I mean, please, it became something nicer and bigger, but it was never that. It was just this little low-budget horror film. So it was hardly a big gig, like, to brag about. You know, for me, it was astonishing because my name was on every page. And when you're an actor and you're counting your lines in a TV series, which I did prior to it, with 13 regulars in a half-hour show, that's 13 people for like 21 minutes of television. And in that time, I would get the script every week and you literally count your lines. So for me to have a movie where I was in every single scene, basically on every page, that was what was extraordinary. You know, my family, it really didn't have an impact, I don't think, on them. I don't think it was anything, I mean, I'm sure my mom was proud of me, but it wasn't anything that we discussed or anything. It was, you know, again, it was, you have to remember to put it in the context of what this was. It was a little $300,000 horror film shot in, you know, 18 days, 21 days.
Wow.
Oh, it was shot, you know, I mean, it was really, really, really little.
All right, this next
By the
question.
way, I hired that woman back there. She's on the wall. I actually gave her money and said, after every single answer to my question, start with applause.
Slow clap.
You know, she just starts at the back, and then, of course, the wave happens. And I'll give you your money after.
This question is from my friend, Damien Glonek. You might know him, little Living Dead dolls. They're kind of cool, huh? All right. Come on, Living Dead dolls? Anyway, his question is, a lot of actors and actresses have shunned their early horror careers, and you obviously have embraced it, coming here to a horror convention and not a giant Comic-Con where you easily could have done. How do you feel about your early career, and do you think you'd be where you were today without your horror?
Oh, obviously not. I mean, come on. Come on. No applause, seriously. There's no chance in the world, that I would have ever had any shot at anything had I not done that movie. That was totally, it's all John Carpenter and Deborah, totally his confidence in hiring me, this totally untested person in this little movie, and a big part in a little movie. And I really credit John and Deborah for giving me everything, honestly. And so here's the thing, if you're in horror films and you want to try something else, you have to make a conscious break. It's like breaking up. I knew at some point, after doing 6 of them, that if I did another one, I would never be able to do any other kind of work. And so for me, probably one of the only times in my entire career, if that's a word that I would even use, I actually said the words, I am not going to do any more of those. And then the day I made that decision was the last day of Halloween 2. I finished that movie, which I felt was important to do because it was the direct sequel from the first movie. And I felt that the people who obviously had loved that movie, I felt like I should do that. So I did that. But then I knew that like the last day of that movie was the last day I was going to do a horror movie. And I actually said it out loud. And the next day, I auditioned to play Dorothy Stratton in that TV movie. So within one day, I went from doing a horror film to doing another kind of horror film, which was this really sad, gruesome murder story of a true life woman. And so really that quickly, that switched. Now, that could not have happened. And I could have languished for a long time trying to get gigs. And I understood that. And I understood that if I had a shot to do anything else, I needed to make a break. But it wasn't a break like a divorce. It wasn't like, I don't want to ever see you again. It was, I have to do something else. And then, when you try to do something else, then everybody who supported you before is like, well, what about us? And it's like, you know what? This is my life now. And so you just try to keep doing new things. So it's not like I ever divorced my past, but it's also not something that I'm going to kind of go back to a lot because I was working a lot and doing a lot of other kind of work. But I still have great pride in this work, and I've tried to uphold the dignity of this work for a long time. And at the same time, do other work. And so for me, it really has to do with a respect for the genre. I may not like the genre personally, because I'm a little scaredy cat, so it's no, dude. I'm telling you, if you ever saw me watch something frightening, Mulan fucking scares me. My sister's laughing because she knows. So you have to understand, my son kind of ridicules me because Goosebumps used to scare me. So I am not somebody who likes to be frightened. Therefore, I am not going to love the genre. That doesn't mean I don't respect the genre, and it doesn't mean that it hasn't given me the career in my life that I have today. And without John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, there is no fucking chance in the world that I would have been an actor with any kind of career. And so I am deeply grateful to John and Deborah and the fans of the movie to basically give that movie the kind of support it did, which allowed me to then go on and do a lot of other work. So really, I have to thank all of you for your support.
Segue into the next question, which is, this is Mark from Lansing, Michigan? Or are you Mark?
Lansing.
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 It's been a long day. Anyway, are you at all surprised at the level of success Halloween has had and continues to gain new fans over the years?
Oh, please.
that a yes or a no?
Yes. I mean, I'm in shock, honestly, and I'm amused. Because, you know, it was a little movie. And of course it became a big movie. And it was the kind of big movie that grew and grew and grew. It didn't happen overnight. You know, we didn't have opening weekends. You know, nowadays a movie's dead after 3 days if it doesn't perform. You know, Halloween didn't have like a boffo opening weekend. It just had a decent, I'm sure it did, I mean, you could look back on the numbers, it wasn't like anything monstrous, but it just caught on. It's just one of those things where people said, dude, have you seen Halloween? Oh, it's fucking scary. And I mean, that's really the term word of mouth. That's what used to happen if something was small and grew. So it wasn't like the movie came out and the next day all my friends were calling me going, "Ooh, big hit!" You know, I mean, that just didn't happen. It grew slowly over a period of time. There's Lori, the repressed virgin, brainiac, yeah? There's Annie, the smart aleck kind of jokester. And then there's the slut. Now, you all know me pretty well. If you were casting the movie today, which part would you give me?
Totally.
Well played, sir.
So, I think it's really astonishing that John actually saw who you guys don't know I am, which is Lori. And I'm not joking. I am Lori. I am not a slut. Thank you very much. I was a virgin until college. Thank you very much.
A brain that got into college at 12.
I was not a brain.